hope you're all well. Today we're here to do my July MBR, maybe read. This is looking a little bit out of hand, I'm not gonna lie. We're not pulling the cards this time because it's already wild, the amount of books that I kind of want to read in July. And what's hilarious is that June was kind of my worst reading month so far of the year. It wasn't a bad reading month by any stretch of the imagination, but compared to the rest of the year, it's been my lowest read of the year. I think in general I had a lot going on. Andy's been moving in, there's been a lot on my plate and I have been struggling. So I'm hoping July will pick back up again. I obviously need to sort myself out into a new routine now, which is always difficult for me anyway. But I'm hoping we can get it done and we'll make it work. In July, I am taking part in Summerween at the beginning of the month, and then we have final book support group at the end of the month, and in between, at some point, I have a readathon with my patrons, the F1 readathon as well. So I'm really excited, lots going on, lots to do. I also have a busy July. It's my sister-in-law's 30th birthday. We're going away for a couple of days for her birthday. In fact, it's not even a couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, we're going away. And personally, me and Andy have quite a lot on our plate as well. So we're going to see how this goes. There's a lot going on. We'll have to see what happens. We are going to start off with the Patreon pot. I pick something out of here every single month. My patrons basically put books in here for me to read from, and I pick one every month. I do still have June's book here, which I'll mention to you in a second. So we are going to pick one for the month of July, because I do need to do that. I do it every month. So we're going to pick one and see what comes out. I actually don't really know what's still left in here. I know there's a few in here that have been in here for a while now and probably should come out at some point. But we're going to see what happens. So we will pick, oh, just one. We'll pick that one. Put this on the floor. What do we have? What's in the box? It's not a box, it's a mug. Does that say Cat Gamer? Oh my god. Could I have been luckier if I tried? 1 minute. Okay, so we do have Cat Gamer Volume 4, which is the last volume that I have in this series up to this point. So this can go on my final book support group TBR, which is great. This series follows a woman called... I forget her name every single time, Rico. And in the first book, she's very much so goes to work, comes home and games, and that is it. That is her life. She's very much so an introvert. And one day the security guard comes in with a cat that's been left outside and says to them in the office, would anybody like to take this cat home? Tiny kitten, absolutely gorgeous. She decides to say yes, and she's not sure why. So she takes the kitten home and she uses her gaming knowledge to help look after this kitten. And it's really fun, very, very sweet, very wholesome, just slice of life content. And every now and then you get a strip from the cat's POV as well. And it's just really, really sweet and I love it. So very excited to continue on. Thanks Louis. Shout out to him for putting this in my bowl. I truly appreciate you. I'm very excited to continue on with this. So this is the first book going on my TBR. Probably read it for final book support group because it will count as continuation station or final book. I mean, it's the final one I currently own. It's the final one that's been released. I don't know if it's actually the final one in the series. I won't know till I read it, obviously. But yeah. We'll see. Oh no, there is a volume 5 coming out, it says right at the back. So it's the final one that I currently own. So I'm going to whack that on here while we very quickly, I need that, I don't want to put it down, while we very quickly just go through a couple of required reads and then we'll go through the month with the readathons and stuff. So last month's pick, well June's pick, is I've not finished June yet, even when this video goes up. June's pick was The Forest Grimm by Catherine Purdy, and this was picked for me by Claire, and I didn't read this in June because I was only reading queer books and this wasn't queer. So this will carry into July, so these will be my patron picks for June and July, but will carry on into July. So I'll be reading both of those, hopefully. Then I do have First Down, which is my patron buddy read for May and June. Again, wasn't queer, so I've put the live show for this back a week, so it's not until the second Monday of the month, to give us a week to get through this, because those, don't know why that's in there, those people that weren't only reading queer books but were focusing more on queer books might not have had a chance to read it. I definitely haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I will be aiming for this in the first week of the month. It is a sports romance as far as I'm aware, and I'm looking forward to it. I've heard great things, so very excited about this one. And then my July-August buddy read for Patreon is going to be When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I'm so excited about this one. All through June I've wanted to pick this up, all the way through June. Again, it's not queer, so I haven't been able to, and I'm now about to approach July. I don't know if it's just that I'm exhausted, to be honest, from the last week, but I'm about to approach July. The want has not disappeared, but it's kind of gone a little bit. I am still very excited. This is the Waterstones edition. I believe it's a fantasy romance with dragons in it. Other than that, I don't know anything else, but I'm very much so looking forward to it. Will transport you to a world filled with magic, dragons, and love that blazes through the ages. So excited. I've heard great things, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm obsessed with this map. So yeah, very excited for that one. This will be July and August's buddy read, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it in July or August, so I just wanted to mention it. Could end up reading it in July, might not do because of all the other stuff I've got going on throughout the month and all the other books I've got on my TBR. So those are required reads for book clubs and, you know, all of that good stuff, Patreon picks and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to pop these down here. Summerween, I got my shirt, very excited. I got my bag, very excited, which holds my books for Summerween. I had way too many options for this, and it took me so fucking long to pick my TBR. There is a possibility I might try and read more than this, we'll see. I intend, Summerween always, to be fair, the Ween readathons in general, I always struggle with them, not with the readathon in general, but with the timing of it, of when it is. Now that I'm back to weekly vlogs again, my weekly vlogs run Monday to Sunday, and these readathons always run midweek to midweek. It cocks me right up. So I'm going to try and do 2 vlogs. I think you're going to get 2 vlogs out of me for Summerween. Yay for that. We're gonna see. I'm gonna do, I think, days 1 to 4 and then 5 to 7. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see how it goes, whether or not it works out that way. You will inevitably find out that. So I do have my Summerween TBR, and I'm going to run through it with you now and let you know exactly what I'm going to be reading. I do need the prompts because I cannot remember off of the top of my head. I could probably remember a handful of them, but not all of them. Okay, so we've got Read a Book in the Dark. So for this one, I've put down a shortish one, and it is It Watches in the Dark by Jeff Strand. I believe this is maybe middle grade, probably YA, horror. And it sounds really good, and it was gifted to me from Amanda for hitting 9k. So thank you, Amanda, for that. It is YA. I've just spotted a YA thingamabob at the top. She glanced over her shoulder. Had the scarecrow moved? It stood there, smile stitched on its face, but now it felt like a smirk. Not a fan of scarecrows. Same as, I don't dislike them as much as clowns, but still not a fan. Twins Oliver and Trisha are going on adventures with their dad. Canoeing and camping on the Champion River will be their best trip yet, but when they capsize in the rapids, their father is knocked unconscious. Alone and without cell phone reception, their only choice is to continue downriver for help. After a few hours, they hit a dock in a town, and they end up going into the town for help, and someone's like trying to say to them, listen, you need to get out of here because it's not going to end well, and shit starts to get weird. And I think it involves the scarecrow. So I'm very excited about that one. And I did decide to put this one on for Read a Book in the Dark because it is very short and the text in here is very large. So I think it will be a quick one to get through, and I'm really looking forward to it. Then we have to read a thriller or a horror book. Again, the possibilities are endless, and I had so many that I'm so excited about picking up, but I have decided to pick up a new release for me, and one that I'm really looking forward to in it is The 5-Year Lie by Serena Bowen. This is like a thriller but with an element of romance in it, I believe. So we're following Ariel, and her phone buzzes with a text that says, something's happened, I need you to meet me underneath the candelabra tree ASAP. The message is from Drew, the only guy she's ever loved, the father of her child, the guy that upped and left 5 years ago without a word and then died shortly after in a motorcycle accident. So she's received a text from him. And she wants to find out what the fuck is going on. She's very confused. So that's basically the story, and I'm very intrigued about it. I cannot wait to read this one. It is a longer one than I would usually like to pick up, albeit it looks longer than it is. It's just over 400 pages, but not too far over. But it sounds fantastic, and I love Serena Bowen's writing, so I'm very excited about this one. Can't wait to pick it up. Then we've got Read a Book with a Night Sky on the cover, and I'm hoping this one counts. I think it does, but it is The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Kist. I've heard really good things about this so far, and I'm fairly certain Gabby's read this one recently and really enjoyed it, and I know that Kayla has as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. Again, quite short, perfect for a readathon. I think it's, yeah, it's shy, just shy of 250 pages. But it's a ghost story set in a small town. A suburban ghost story about a small town that trapped 3 young women who must confront the past if they're going to have a future. I don't know the synopsis of this. I have been influenced, naturally. The Velkwood vicinity is the topic of occult theorists, tabloid one-hour documentaries, and even some pseudo-scientific investigations, as the block of homes disappeared behind a near impenetrable veil that only 3 survivors could enter, and only one has in the past 20 years until now. Talia Velkwood has avoided anything to do with the tragedy that took her mother and 8-year-old sister, drifting since then from one job to another, never settling anywhere or with anyone, feeling as trapped by her past as if she was still in the small town she so desperately wanted to escape. When a new researcher tracks her down and offers to pay her to go back to enter the vicinity, despite all the crackpot theories over the year, no one has discovered what happened the night Talia and her estranged former best friends, Brett and Grace, escaped their homes 20 years ago. Will she finally get the answers, or is this just another dead end? Interesting. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. Looks like it's got kind of short chapters as well. Maybe I'm lying, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this one. I've heard fantastic things, so I thought this would be a good one. I think it counts for a night sky, but I'm not sure. Let me know if you don't think it does, but if it doesn't, it can be swapped out for Read a Book in the Dark. This has definitely got a night sky in the background, so I could swap it out for that one. Interchangeable. Fantastic. Then we have Read a Book with 5 or more words in the title, and I've got Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I've been wanting to pick this up since it came through the door, but I've been saving it for Summerween. So again, not too long. I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to get through all of these and then maybe pick up some of the others that I really wanted to get to. Just under 250 pages again. This one is following 3 siblings. Their parents have passed away. They're kind of estranged. They don't really speak to each other too much. And they reunite to sort out their parents' estate. So they end up sitting down one night and going through a couple of videos. And one of the videos starts off, you know, a lovely family video, until it doesn't, and it switches, and all of a sudden their parents are standing over a dead body, and it looks like they've covered up a murder, and the siblings are trying to find out what the fuck has gone on. And it sounds really interesting. I'm very excited about it. I'm obsessed with this cover. I'm just really excited about this book, and I can't wait to give it a read. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then the last prompt is to read a book that takes part in summer, and I'm going to pick up a book that's been on my shelves for a really long time. Again, I had a couple of options for this one, and the other one that I really had my eye on, I kind of really want to get to, so it would be nice to pick that one up as well. I've gone for the shorter one of the 2 in the hopes that maybe I might be able to finish it and pick the other one up anyway. But it is Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. I've had this on my shelves for such a long time, and it's about time I got to it. It's been on my shelves longer than the other one that I was planning on picking up. So this one is like a 1-by-1 retelling, I think, from Agatha Christie. We have 6 islands on a visitor. Oh no. 6 visitors on an island. Wow. And they're on holiday, vacationing, but this island is known for its mysteries of shipwrecks, cannibalism, and even rumours of murder. It's the perfect destination for the most adventurous traveller to escape everything except the truth. So 6 stunning 20-somethings are about to embark on a blissful, free-spirited journey, one filled with sun-drenched days and intoxicating nights. But as it becomes clear that the group is even more cut off from civilization than they initially thought, it starts to feel like the island itself is closing in, sending them on a dangerous spiral of discovery.
When one person goes missing and another turns up dead, the remaining friends wonder what dark current lies beneath this impenetrable paradise and who else will be swept under its secluded chaos. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds good. I've heard great things about Rachel Hawkins. I know she's got a couple of other books out since this one, so I'm looking forward to that. So that is my Summerween TBR. This is quite the vibe, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited about it. Quite the vibe, and I feel like quite a few of these are short enough that I might be able to add some others to my TBR. We will see. I'm not, you know, I'm not mentioning anything else that I'm interested in reading just in case, because that's annoying for everyone involved. But that's my TBR for Summerween. So I'm stoked, I'm hyped, I'm excited. We're up to 9 books already for this month. I haven't started telling you about what else I want to read. Right, then I do have a couple of books that I would like to get to for reasons. So one of those is Cross the Line by Simone Saltani. This is an F1 romance, and it is following Dev and also Willow. One thing I will say about the audiobook for this, his name is spelled D-E-V, which to me is Dev, and they're calling him Dave in the audiobook, and it's really frustrating me, and to the point that I almost can't get past it. I'll continue listening to it, but it is really, really annoying that they keep calling him Dave, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if the author has been like, yeah, his name is spelled D-E-V, but we're calling him Dave. Just spell it Dave. Dave is spelled D-A-V-E. Dev is spelled D-E-V. I've never seen a Dave spelled D-E-V, never. Anyway, just a little something that's bothering me. It's an F1 romance. Dev is an F1 driver. Her brother, Willow's brother, works in F1, and he takes her with him. She's struggling to get a job. She's like social media, PR, all of that stuff, but she's struggling to get a job, and he ends up taking her with him to a couple of the F1 races, and she's got a little bit of a past with Dev. They've had a moment previously, but he knows he has to stay away because it's his best friend's sister, so he, you know, is a little bit standoffish with her. Anyway, they end up in a conversation, and she's like, listen, I'm trying really hard to find a job, blah blah blah, I'm really struggling, so my brother's brought me out here to see if I can network a little bit and see if I can find some work. He is having a little bit of a problem at the moment with his image and really needs to tidy it up, so he says to her, I'll employ you, and that's where we're at. So that's what's going on. It's an F1 romance. I'm really enjoying it so far. I am 83 pages in. I started this in May and had to put it down because I was only reading queer books in June, and it's not queer. So I put it down, it went on the back burner, and now I want to come back to it and finish it off because I'm really having a good time. I do have the special edition one from the works, and then I also have this Hot Girls Read F1 Romances bookmark as well from Fleurs on Sunday, which is absolutely beautiful. So I've whacked that in there because it just makes sense. So I would really like to get back to this one and finish that off. I really want to read Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. Again, really wanted to try and get to this like in May, but didn't get a chance to do it. I read In the Weeds too late in the month for me to actually pick this one up. So I would like to read this one. It's the third in the Love Lights Farm series, and I would like to get to it because I have an arc of Business Proposal, not Business Proposal, what's it called? Business Casual Struggles. Business Casual, I have an arc of it, and it comes out in July. So I would like to read this one. This is horrendously sun damaged because it's been in my window for approximately a week, and I'm really annoyed about it. A bashful man who can rock a Hawaiian shirt, a hopeful and dreamy bakery owner, enough sweets to give you a cavity, and your favourite Inglewood residence. So we're following Layla, who is a bakery owner. We've seen her previously quite a bit actually in the Weeds, and I love her. And we're also following Caleb. And I'm very excited about continuing on with this series because I love it so far. I've had 2 5-stars in this series so far. So want to continue on with that. And then I do have an arc of Breaking the Dawn by Lisa Jewell. This does come out on the 4th of July. I probably definitely won't get to it before then, but I might be able to start it maybe. But I would still, on the basis that I've been sent an arc from Del Rey, Shout out to them. Thank you very much for sending me this one, and I am very excited about it. It is a Lisa Jewell, who I've only read one of her books so far, and Marvel crossover, and I'm stoked for it. It's Jessica Jones, and she is on a detective mission, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I would like to pick this one up in July on the basis that it does come out in July. If I can try and get it read within, you know, a week or two of it coming out, that would be great. So I want to pick that one up as well. And then we've got Final Book Support Group. Now, this is looking ridiculous, and this is not going to be like, this is an options TBR, okay? Let me tell you that before I show you what the stack looks like. It's an options TBR, okay? I have option. Look at the fucking sun damage on that. It's business casual again. It's been in the window. I'm so annoyed. Anyway, spoiler alert. So this is an options TBR, right? Okay, great. So I have A Perilous Undertaking by Deanna Rayborn, which is book 2 in the Veronica Speedwell series. I really want to continue on with this series. Again, probably would have plowed my way through this whole series in June if I wasn't prioritising queer books. So I want to get back to it because I'm very excited. Have I solved the mystery of the audiobooks? Not yet, no. I'm really hoping that I managed to do so, because I just don't know if this book's going to give me the same feeling if I'm not listening to the audiobook, which is a real shame, but we'll have to see. A potential option. The Veronica Speedwell series follows Veronica Speedwell. She is just what we think is an ordinary woman who is what do you call, she's a butterfly person, and I've forgotten the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, but she loves butterflies, and she, you know, knows everything there is to know about butterflies. There's a name for it, and that is her job. And she's very much, you know, not the traditional woman in this time, because you are in 1887 in London. Anyway, one day she ends up managing to avoid being kidnapped from a break-in in her home, and she gets saved by this guy who then takes her to this other guy and is like, dude, I've got some stuff I need to do, but can you please keep an eye on her? Someone's tried to kidnap her, she's very important, and I've got stuff I need to tell her. And this other guy's like, not really, no. And he's like, great, I'll see you later, I'll be back, don't panic. So this guy that she's left with is called Stoker. He's absolutely fascinating, and I am obsessed with him, and I adore him. These two bickering all the time, old married couple, obsessed, so good. And then shit starts to get weird, and this mystery gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and they're trying to figure it out. That's what happens in the first book, and I loved it. This is going to be the slowest slow burn that ever slow burned. I thought Binding 13 was a slow burn, but this I think is going to be slower, and I'm here for it. So yeah, very excited about this one. Would like to continue on with it. Don't know if I'm going to get the chance to, but I would enjoy to do so for Final Book Support Group. It is a continuation station, obviously. Then I do have A Business Casual by BK Borison, which I've mentioned, with the sun damage. So annoyed with myself. This one does come out the 14th, I think, of July. So obviously Final Book Support Group is the week after, but I'm away that week for my sister, well, not for the whole week, for a couple of days for my sister-in-law's birthday. So I don't know if I'll get to it that week, but either way, I'll keep you posted. If I get to it in that week, that's great. It won't be on my Final Book Support Group TBR. Either way, I'm getting to it in July. So again, I will try and get to it before it comes out, but I might not be able to. And therefore, it just makes sense to whack it on Final Book Support Group because it's the final book in the Love Light Farm series. And this one is following Charlie and also Nova. Nova's got a homegrown tattoo business, and Charlie is a betting man in his line of work. He knows when to play it close to the chest and when to go all in. Nova Porter is about to expand her homegrown tattoo business, and she doesn't have time for distractions. Charlie Milford is definitely a distraction. So she suggests one night, no strings to get their inconvenient attraction out of their system. Too bad it doesn't work out as planned. If anything, their explosive night together leaves her wanting more. Keeping things casual has never been such hard work, except when you live in a meddling small town like Inglewood. So excited. So yeah, this is the autumn book, but it comes out in summer, obviously ready for autumn. So very excited about this one. Again, shout out to Pan Macmillan and Book Break for sending me this one. I truly appreciate it. So I do want to get to that one as well. Then I do have only one The Only Light Left Burning struggles. The Only Light Left Burning by Eric J. Brown, which is the next one in this series. The first one is All That's Left in the World, and I have read that in June. I've read it this month when I'm filming this video. I've read it in June, really enjoyed it, so I would like to read the sequel, which has now come out. I don't know if this is the final book or if it's a continuation. It will be a continuation station, I'm not sure. Obviously I haven't read it yet, so I won't know the answer to that till I get to the end, but honestly All That's Left in the World could have been a standalone, so I don't know if the success of it has meant that Eric's ended up doing a follow-up, but I really hope it's very good. We are following Andrew and Jameson, and they're in a not apocalyptic kind of world, dystopian world, where there's been a virus that has wiped out the majority of the planet, and they are just surviving. Jameson is living in his home, what used to be his childhood home, and one day Andrew turns up with a very damaged leg after getting stuck in a bear trap, and he ends up helping him out, and then they end up kind of going on this mission to find this place that they think is going to be a safe haven where other people will be living and there will be help. And it doesn't quite go to plan, and it's just such a really good story, and I really enjoyed it, and it obviously it is queer as well, and I had a very good time, so I would like to continue on with it. Again, maybe final book, maybe continuation station, not 100% sure. Then I do have Dark Moon Volume 2. I would like to continue on with this series. I really enjoyed it. Thank you to IZE Press for sending me this one. I really appreciate it. They sent me did they send me volume 1 to begin with? I can't remember. I might have bought that one, but they've sent me volumes 2 and 3 since, and I loved volume 1. It was so good, so I'm very excited to continue on with it. It is following a bunch of, well, it's following this young girl called Suha, and all her life she's been questioned whether or not she's a vampire, because she's a little bit strange, and all her life she's been questioned whether or not she's a vampire. She's not, but there's something else going on with her, and she ends up going to this school called Decelis, and the aim is that this school doesn't allow vampires in. So she goes to school in the hope that no one will mind her anymore about it, because, you know, it doesn't allow vampires in. Turns out that might not be the case. And there's a whole bunch of these guys that are in a group together that all of a sudden are vying for her attention, and something strange is going on, and I'm not sure what it is, but I fucking loved the first volume of this. It was so good. It gave me Zodiac Academy vibes, but in a manhwa format, and I really enjoyed it, so I would like to continue on with this. Obviously we have, oh, I've put it at the, did I put it at the bottom? Oh, it's there. Obviously we have Cat Gamer Volume 4 as well, for another graphic novel / manga, so that is an option. And then I've got 2 more books that I would like to read for Final Book Support Group. So I've got Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, which will wrap up this series, the Divine Rivals series, and I would like to wrap that one up and get it done and dusted. This one is following Roman and also Iris, and in the first one Iris's brother goes off to war, and there is like a magical element to this. The war is that they are fighting, I think it's set around World War II maybe, but they're fighting magical beasts as well. So Iris works at this paper. Her rival at work, Roman, obviously also works there. She's writing letters to her brother and she's not receiving anything back, and one day Roman ends up finding one of these letters and writes back to her. She's no idea it's Roman writing back, but I think he knows it's her, if I remember correctly, and then it just kind of escalates from there. And I liked the first one. I gave it 4 stars. Didn't love it as much as quite a lot of people did, but I would like to finish the series up because it is only a duology, so I might as well get it done. So I would like to finish this one up, and then the other one that I would like to wrap up is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. The first one was One Dark Window, and I loved it. I think I gave that one 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it, so I would like to finish this series up. It's been a hot minute since I read that one, and I can remember what happened, and I know I'm going to go into this, I'm going to be like, ah, no, I remember, but I might need to read just a recap a little bit. This one follows Elspeth, and there's like these provenance cards. There was a virus a while ago, and some people came out of it ending up with magic, and she ended up with it, and I think she's got some sort of magic or something. But there's these provenance cards, and bad people are trying to get them all together, because once they get them all together something will happen, and she's trying to prevent that from happening. So but she's also got this, I think she's got a
is it what she calls a nightmare, the monster in her head? Yeah, the nightmare. The only one who can lead them there is the monster that shares Elspeth's head, the nightmare, and he's not eager to share any longer. So I think the nightmare can come forward and actually almost push Elspeth out a little bit, and I don't know if it's going to get a little bit more darker than it did in the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. I remember enjoying it in the moment. I just can't 100% remember what happened. So I'm going to need to read a recap. I'm not rereading the whole book. I'm going to need to read a recap. But I remember enjoying it. So I am very excited to wrap this series up again. It's a duology, so it would be nice to wrap that up. So this is my pile of possibilities for the fact... Whoopsie. This is my pile of possibilities for the final book support group. Fingers crossed that I can get through at least some of these. That would be great. So yeah. So this is my potential TBR. This is silly, I know. I'm very aware of that. I understand what you're saying. I get it. I don't know how many books are in this pile. There's 18. I'm not going to get to all of them. To be honest, like, for example, When the Moon Hatched, there's a good chance I'm not going to read that in July. I just wanted to mention that it's my July-August buddy read for Patreon. There's a good chance I'm not going to get to all of these. We'll see, and I'll keep you posted. I am excited about the fact that we've got Summerween back. I love Summerween. It's so good. If you don't know what Summerween is, probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but it is a readathon hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads, and I will leave a link to her announcement video in the description box down below. Please do go check it out if you don't know what it is. The Final Book Support Group is a readathon hosted by myself. It is a support group that we have all year round. We have a Discord group for it, and every other month we will do a readathon. The readathon timescale will vary. This for July, we are a week long at the end of the month, and we just help each other try and get through final books and series in general, to be honest, continuation stations. We even support starting series, but we try and support, in the readathons especially, we try and support and encourage finishing series off. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to everything. Again, there was so many books that I wanted to read for Final Book Support Group this time around. I wanted to get to Nona the Ninth, but I just don't think I can fit it in. So there is a lot going on. This TBR is ridiculous. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. Chat to me in the comments down below. Are you taking part in any readathons in July? Are you taking part in the Final Book Support Group? What are you reading? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.